I'm Ben Greensmith. I am Chief Operating Officer at Propercorn. So I think if I'm looking and when I'm recruiting and looking to bring people into the business, what I look for and try to tease out is someone who's going to come in and make a difference. Ultimately, one of our kind of leadership traits and behaviours that we look for is someone who leads by example, because I think if you want people to basically follow you, you need to set the pace, the tone, the vision for where you want to go. And I think leading by example is a great trait to have, and something that I always look for when I'm bringing people in. So I think the other thing that's important in any leader is being, two things. One, a good communicator. There's no point having a plan and a vision and a view on where you want to get to if you can't bring people along the journey with you. And I think I'm a big believer in open communication within a business. Luckily for us, we're a small business, we're 35 people. So actually communication when we all sit together is pretty open, and we do a lot of that, and we talk as a team and as a business, and we update regularly on where we're going, and I think that really helps. And I think the other area that I would say is self-awareness. So having an understanding on the areas you're really strong in, and you can do more of and help coach and bring people along. But the other thing is identifying the areas where you might need a bit of support, and actually it's a good thing to lean on the team to get that experience and empower others to do it. So delegation's a big part of leadership. So I would say it's self-awareness, good communicator, and someone who leads by example is what I look for in any leader. So we're always looking for someone who can come in and make a difference. So one of the standard questions actually for anyone coming into the business is that I will ask them what their single biggest contribution, the thing they're most proud of at their prior business or over the last 2 years, and why they're most proud of that. Because I think what you get from that is a sense of, okay, well, what have they actively done? And we want people who can come in and make a difference and affect change. But also it gives you a bit of an insight into why they're proud of it. And it might not be the obvious answer that you think of, but actually you do get a bit of insight into the individual as to why they're most proud of it, and some of the challenges that they faced, and therefore how they went about affecting that change or delivering whatever it was that they delivered, which I think's quite important. And I think the other area would be what's the most insightful bit of feedback you've had on your leadership style, because that to me shows that they're open to feedback. And secondly, I will always ask them, so if that's the most insightful bit of feedback you've got, well, what have you done about it? Because obviously it's one thing receiving feedback, but then acting on it is really important as well. And I think that for me teases out, one, whether or not they're someone who will really lead by example, and two, whether or not they have that self-awareness and they're open to change and adaptation as well. So that's I'm a big believer in, I don't think there's a massive amount that I would change. There's always bits and bobs, but not stuff that I'm going to say on camera. I think from a work perspective, I genuinely believe that I've learned from pretty much all of the mistakes that I've made along the way, which has helped me in some capacity get to where I've got to. I think if there was one thing that I would, and I say this to my team as well, and I say this to anyone, so it would probably be acting on the advice that I give my team, which is just take control of your own development a little bit earlier. I think I was at an early stage, I was just quite focused on career and getting on to the next piece. But actually, what I've realised is that your career I'm probably going to be working for the best part of 40 years. So it is quite a long game. And there's no harm in just repetition, and actually repetition, the more you repeat something, the better you get at it before you move on to the next thing. So it's probably one about pace in the early stages of my career and just embedding some of that learning without sounding too cliched. But yeah, I certainly wouldn't change anything in my personal life. But yeah, adapting a little bit, seeking feedback, and embracing my own development a little bit earlier would probably be my advice to myself. I would say so. At Propercorn in the last 4 weeks, we're now the number one premium popcorn brand in the UK and Europe. And I think it's certainly not down to me. It's as all good things, it's a team effort. But I think for the business to get to number one and overtake the competition when we are a smaller British independently owned business, so we're actually of any note, we're the last ones left. And I think to go up against the big guys as a challenger brand and get to number one is pretty significant. And I think it is testament to an entire business which is really working hard to make sure that our products are better than anyone else's, our packaging is better and sings more, our insight is better. The time we have with our customers has to be better because we don't have the luxury of, hours and hours with our customers. So we have to use that time much more effectively and efficiently. And I think to do all that and get to number one is pretty phenomenal. It's something that we as a business are massively proud of. So I think one of the things is that, it's important to understand what the shopper, what the consumer wants, and we prioritize taste. So we're only as good as the people, we're only as good as the product that we sell. But I think 93% of people choose a snack with taste as the primary reason, basically. So we prioritize taste, we prioritize flavor. So firstly, it's the product that's really important, and the product's at the heart. Products and the people is at the heart of everything we do. And I think the other thing that we try and do is we try and celebrate the small things and understand the bits that really make a difference. And we try to go a little bit further as a team, as a business, in our culture, with our customers, to just surprise and delight. So that can be anything from the design of the packaging and the product, which helps store staff identify the packs when they're in the back of store, but also then helps us in terms of driving availability. It's those little touches that all come together to make what I think is just a really great and interesting and fun business. And I think, I'd like to think that comes through in the culture of the business as well.